Recording. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It sounds like German, right? Welcome. welcome. Welcome to our movie class. Vova, tell us, what is the movie we have today?
Snow White and the Huntsman.
Okay, and did you watch it?
Yes.
Okay, nice. So I will ask you. Layla, what about you? Did you watch the movie?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, I did. Woa, did you like the movie? Woa, did you like the movie?
What? Did you like the movie?
Yes, I do.
Nice.
Yes,
nice.
I did. I did too, my dear. A bit childish, but
A bit childish? Okay, okay. And I forgot to find cast of the movie characters. So let's ask Sergey maybe. Sergey, who are the main characters of the movie? And Sergey is frozen to me. He seems frozen to be frozen.
some teacher Lee wrote King Magnus. Who is he? I don't know.
Chris Hemsworth. It's a famous actor now, I guess. It's a
Yes.
popular.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, let me find
The
it.
Huntsman.
He played Thor in the original Thor movies. If you watch Thor, the God of Thunder.
Vasans, can you please help us with main characters? Who are they?
Do you want me to say the names of
Just roles.
characters or the actors?
No. If you want to, to mention some actors, but who are the main protagonists in the movie?
The main protagonist is Kristen Dunst. Her name is Snow White. Is that right?
Snow White, right?
Yes, and Snow White. And there's a Huntsman.
Right.
He is Chris Hemsworth. The queen was Charlize Theron. I don't know that. I forgot the name, real name. I think Melena or something.
Ravenna. How you pronounce it?
Ravenna, I think.
Like
Okay,
Raven, yeah.
Exactly. Do you remember this dark black raven? So that form her body. So
Yeah.
I just realized that it can be related.
Yeah.
And so many dwarf characters. I don't think they are real dwarfs, right?
Dwarf, you mean?
Yeah.
Dwarf.
I think
Okay.
it's
Let me ask Vova. Could you tell us who is a dwarf? What is a dwarf?
A dwarf is a small man. He mines gold.
Mines gold.
Mines.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They live in cave.
In caves or
Caves.
in a cave? Yeah, in a cave. And teacher Lee said that dwarf and has plural. So when there are many dwarf, they are dwarves. Dwarves. How to pronounce?
Dwarves.
Dwarves. Okay, dwarves.
Like wolf and wolves, dwarf and dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
Dwarves.
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 Where? Right?
Yeah. Head in form of cone.
Form of cone. Okay, cone heads. Okay. That's all?
Dwarfism is a medical condition where you don't grow very tall. So you become a dwarf or a midget. I think we prefer the term midget to dwarf because dwarf implies you're these ugly creatures. A midget just means you're a little person.
Okay, so let me summarize again. So we have Snow White. It's a protagonist lady, right? Small young lady. We have Huntsman. It's a what's the name for this macho man, right? It's a toxic masculinity man with a toxic masculinity, I would say. And Who else? Ravenna or Ravenna.
Ravenna.
It's like okay. We will ask Layla to describe her, right? And William, it's a boy who is in love with Snow White. Who else? And Finn. Finn is a brother of Ravenna and her like first assistant. Can we say it, teacher Lee, something like a right hand or something? Do you use this?
Right hand man or lieutenant. We
Lieutenant.
call him a lieutenant from the mob world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's start with the story. Sergey, please, could you start?
The story about Snow White, and we watched the relationships between Queen and his daughter, and we know that Queen was died. I don't remember why, and somebody started to attack the portrait of King, and King won this fight. But surprisingly for us, we didn't see usual warriors, because it were wizard warriors with I can't imagine. I can't describe them.
Okay. Don't be in hurry. Let's try to describe it. So they were magical creatures, right? And when you hit them, what happened? When you hit them, what happens?
They crashed.
Yeah, they crash in the
like a mirror.
There is a good verb teacher Lee wrote it. They shatter, right? They shatter like a mirror, like a glass. When you break the glass, when you hit the glass, it shatters to small, how we call it, splits? Teacher?
Small pieces.
Small pieces, yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so the warriors were magical constructs, and they found a slave, right? They just rescued a slave who turns out to be a beautiful woman. What happened between King and this beautiful woman, Layla? Tell us.
The moment the king saw Ravenna, this beautiful lady, he fell in love with her. And then I think the next day they got married. And on the wedding night, Ravenna stabs King Magnus on his chest. And meanwhile, Snow White princess was small, and she was, just walking around, and she saw her dad with a knife on his chest while he was dying, I think. And I think Ravenna's aim to destroy the king's army, and instead she wants her army. And she kept Snow White princess on the tower of the castle. But before that, William and his father got rid of the situation, but she couldn't manage. And do you want me to continue?
No, let's stop here. So William had kind of a psychotrauma because of that, right? Because he could not help her to get
right.
escape from the situation. Do you remember this moment of wedding when Ravenna was walking with a king, and he was watching for people who watch it for whom? Do you remember that?
He was watching, right, Ravenna?
Yeah, there was a how we call it, procession. There was a march. So Ravenna and her husband. Usually, how we call this?
Well, he wasn't with us. She was walking down the aisle alone towards her husband at the altar. And it was kind of odd. She was looking right and left at everyone like she was worried or some strange look on her face. And then she looked back and looked at Snow White. I didn't understand what she was looking at.
As I got it, he looked at the people and nobody watched her. Everyone looked at Snow White. and that was the reason. That was she was like I don't know what's the word for it, insulted because of this.
That's why she looked back at Snow White. What are they looking at? Oh, the
yeah.
girl.
So it was strange. So they look, they staring somewhere behind her.
I missed that. Okay. Let me mention something here that happened at the very beginning of the movie. It was a winter wasteland. There was no life. All tree life, all plants had died except for one single rose. Snow White's mother found the rose and touched it, and a thorn pricked her, and she bled 3 drops of blood into the snow. And somehow that was kind of a magic moment that meant that her child, her baby, would be some source of life in a barren land.
Right.
And if you remember the words to it, the words actually said a child would be born with raven black hair. But she wasn't born with black hair. So, but anyway, that was Snow White was her baby. So when she died, I forget why she died too. Snow White was kind of a magical spirit that embodied life somehow. So I guess it attracted everyone to look at her. There was something unique about her that drew people's attention.
Yeah, she was like kind of special. She had a superpower, something that he brings the life to people. Something, some. I remember in the beginning she brought some kind of bird from the forest because so like this.
But
So
I don't understand one thing there, you know, Ravenna imprisons her in the tower for many years. If she had that superpower, so I think her superpower is her positive energy.
Yeah.
To heal people.
It wasn't like witch power or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I guess without this positive energy, she will die in this castle for so years. Leila, what do you know about this king? Was he a good guy or bad guy or something?
I mean, Snow White's father.
Yeah.
I don't think that he is he's a man. You know, he after his wife's death, maybe he needs somebody, and Ravenna might use some magic on him.
I understand what you're saying. My question was about a little bit different. You know, I did not consider this thing with Ravenna.
So he was a good man.
He was.
Everybody loved him.
Yeah.
In the village because he is good-hearted.
Yeah, his kingdom was kind of an island of prosperity, I guess.
Fertility is the key for Because you always ask me about, strange questions, and I just thought, okay.
It's my job, you know, Leila. I'm asking strange questions that people don't understand to practice their English, you know, to be challenged.
You're super.
To be challenged, you know, by these stupid questions. So
I will ask you.
Okay. Vasants, what is Trojan horse? Do you know this legend? So why Ravenna was a Trojan horse for this kingdom?
I think Trojan horse is some sort of virus. Is that right? That's how I.
Well, it is, but that's not.
Let's kind of. It's kind of a virus, kind of a. I don't know. Let's ask Sergey. What is a Trojan horse?
Yes, a Trojan horse is a story from the old Greece magic story.
Mythology. We call it mythology, myth, right?
Yes, this moment of war between Troy and Greece or Athens, when Athens guys created the big wood horse, and Troy citizen saw that it's a magic moment, it's a magic gift from good, and they put inside the fortress and during the night, the Trojan horse door opened, and Athene warriors killed all people inside the Troy.
Yeah, during the night they get out from the horse, right? So it's a
Yeah,
kind of a
now,
poisoned gift, like kind of a rotten gift, right?
yeah,
The-
now
the-
this this phrase we use as a strange gift with bad predictions, bad consequences.
Yeah, yeah. Teacher, is it right? More or less.
Yeah, that's right. The key was the city of Troy had big walls around it, like a castle. So you can't defeat the city because you can't get in. Your soldiers are trapped outside, and this Troy just stands at the top, shoots arrows at you, and kills you. You can't get into the city. So they needed a trick to get the gates open, to get the city gates open. So their trick was the Trojan horse. I think the king of Troy liked horses. So they made a giant horse and pretended it was a gift to honor the king. And the Greeks acknowledged that the Trojans were more powerful than they were. So they pushed this horse up to the gate and they left. So the Greeks looked at it and went, oh, they're paying respect to us. So they opened the gates, they pulled the horse inside the city, they closed the gates, and that night everyone slept. And then the horse, there was a little door on it. The soldiers inside the horse were hiding. They opened the door, they got out, they opened the city gates, and then the bad guys came inside the city and they were able to defeat Troy. So this is the same thing here. The castle walls were very impregnable. The city, the castle was safe. So she was a Trojan horse. She got inside as a slave, married the king, killed him, went to the gates, opened the gates up, and in come her troops and they take over the whole place. So kind of like a Trojan horse situation.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like exactly the same thing with Ravenna. So she came inside and she killed people inside, and she opened the doors, gates for her army. Okay, okay. So some people escaped, some did not, and Ravenna like now in a charge of this kingdom, right? Osans, could you continue with the story?
Yes. She locked up Snow White. I don't know the reason, but she wanted her to be alive. And years later, she managed to keep her beauty by killing young girls and did some sort of black magic. So she gained the beauty from the young ladies. Later, Snow White has grown up, and she managed to escape the prison with a small nail. And she escaped the castle through the, I don't know, sort of drainage or something. And
Yeah, it's kind of a sewage. I guess it's a pipe of sewage. So she went outside.
yeah.
And do you remember this gold like plate or ring, some magical thing of Ravenna? Could you describe it?
Yeah, Ravenna brought a mirror with her. It didn't look like a mirror, but it's sort of a metal plate, a gold plate. And she asked the mirror that who is the fairest lady in the world, and then then there was a figure appeared, just like melted metal figure, and then it said that it's you, the queen. She used to do that. She used to be proud about her beauty so often. So she do that many times. And she wants nobody to be near us in the place when she asks the mirror.
Yeah, I remember late in the movie we will meet women who injured themselves to not to be that beauty, right? to like to release from this circle of beautiness or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we forgot? Mirror, magic mirror, and some magic, and I still remember this episode when she kind of sucking this I don't know what it was, life power from young ladies.
Yeah, we'll call it life energy or soul. I don't know.
Yeah, something. It wasn't soul actually. So girls were alive after all, but they were old, right? They aged
Yeah.
very.
So actually sucked the youth energy out of her, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, something to mention, a couple things to mention about this shiny big shield. I don't know why they didn't make it a mirror. In the fairy tale, it was a mirror, but Hollywood today has got to make everything different. She could see this liquid man come out of the mirror and speak to her, but her brother couldn't see anything. So was she imagining this, or was it really happening? We're a little bit of doubt there. Number two, I think at the beginning when the woman, when Snow White's mother got pricked by the rose and 3 drops of blood fell, there was some kind of a prophecy about beauty, but and evil, and only the fairest, only fair blood could defeat the evil, or some legend like that. So the Ravenna was obsessed with who's the fairest person, because she can only be killed by someone with fair blood, or royal blood, if you will. So she kept asking the mirror every day, who's the fairest? You are, you are, you are. Ah, I'm safe. And then one day Snow White reached puberty and became a woman. And then the mirror one day said, Snow White is now the fairest of them all. And that scared the queen, because now that meant that this might be the fair-blooded girl that could actually defeat her and kill her. So that's when Snow White really became an enemy. And she said, we've got to kill that girl. Finn, bring me that girl. She's got to die. There was also a legend. The mirror told her, if you eat Snow White's heart, you will become immortal and always be young, and you won't have to suck energy from other people anymore. So she was going to kill Snow White and eat her heart and ensure her magic youth forever.
Yep.
And that's when Snow White escaped, and now the hunt is on.
Yeah. Who was the assistant of escaping of Snow White, Sergey? Do you remember? Who helped her?
I think that's the cousin of Williams.
They were 2 small birds, I guess. Birds who.
Yes, I remember. I think that you mean the man. Obviously, some birds, some animals helped Snow White, because she had a connection with them. And we remember the beautiful moment when she talked with not horse, with hunt.
With a deer, right? Or how we call it?
Deer. And some birds helped to deliver wire for kill Flynn.
Yeah, and I like the idea of black forest or dark forest. How they call it? Do you remember?
Yeah.
So when she escaped, she went to a dark forest, and it actually was a kind of a how we call it, a important scene for the plot, right? So because she went to the dark forest, they needed someone who can go there, so who can go there and find her. And who it was, Sergey?
It was a hunter.
Hunter, yes, probably Huntsman or Huntsman. I don't know why.
Mhm.
Why is it? Actually, is there any difference between hunter or huntsman?
Huntsman's like a medieval expression. Today we call them hunters.
Okay. So yeah, could you describe him a bit? So what he's like, what he's doing?
Hunter is a victim of Ravenna warriors because they killed her wife, and Ravenna called Huntsman for conversation, and she promised him to make a leaf or make.
I know a nice word, to resurrect, right? To resurrect me and to make make living again.
Yes, resurrect his wife, and he went to Black Forest for finding Snow White. But during the finding, she started to suffer her because she understood that Ravenna will not
Resurrect.
resurrect his wife.
Yeah, he was tricked, or what another word?
Deceived, conned.
Deceived. Conned. Yeah. Leila, so do you agree with these descriptions that Sergey
Yeah.
gave us?
That guy is very logical,
So,
I
but I guess this guy, he was like a I don't know, like a barbarian, no?
He was a
Ivan,
drunk.
sometimes big losses make a man, just angry, drunk, or, hopeless. So he was hopeless anyway.
Mm-hmm.
His wife was his USSR, and when he lost her, he drank vodka and got drunk and became an alcoholic.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So
He had
it
no
happens.
purpose in life.
Yeah. Vova, please, could you tell us what is a dark forest? What is special about this dark forest?
It's forest when you scared something.
Yeah, when you're scared of something and when you're afraid of something. So when you have some fear, forest, dark forest creates like a what how we call this, a phantom? Actually, can I say so?
I would say illusions or hallucinations. It makes you imagine or see things that you fear.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Dementor in Harry Potter.
It's kind of a harsh experience, I would say. So I can imagine it because if I'm afraid of snakes, probably the dark forest will be full of snakes or something. So it will be, I don't know. Leila, what you are scared of in the forest?
Insects, cockroaches.
Cockroaches.
Believe me, I'm really afraid of them.
Okay, so Huntsman understood that he is tricked by Ravenna. He went to Snow White's side, but not actually he went to Snow White's side. He just was hesitated. He was paid for this. He was paid to get her to some duke or some another king. I don't remember, duke probably. And they crossed dark forest, and who he met, Leila? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Do you want me to tell before or after? Because before, Finn was, just
Important scene. Please tell us.
Okay, so they had a fight and they again managed to escape because Finn, he killed Finn there, right? Because he had a fight and he killed Finn, and at that time, at the same time, Ravenna felt his brother was dying.
Actually, it was like a few like consequential events. So consequential,
Consecutive, right?
they had a few fights, and at the beginning, Ravenna resurrected her brother, right? But at the final one, Huntsman managed to kill Finn. And
Because Ravenna started to lose her power. She's getting older and older.
Yeah.
So it means that she's getting, just older and she's losing her power. That's why she couldn't help her brother.
And she said something like, "I'm sorry, brother. Yeah, excuse me." Yeah. And actually, I didn't get this part. I didn't get, was it like a voluntary decision that Ravenna made? Or...
No, I don't think so. What about you, Lee?
What I got from it was early in the movie, when Finn got stabbed one time, she could somehow transfer her life energy to him remotely and heal the wound. But at the end, there was like a broken tree trunk that had many spikes in it. So when he fell against that, he had many wounds. And I don't think she was able to heal many wounds fast enough to save his life. A single wound she could heal, but that tree trunk had a lot of pointy things, and there were so many wounds in him, I don't think she had the energy to heal them all quickly enough. And because she was older, possibly too.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a working theory, but as I thought about it, it's like because of massive wounds, because it was a massive damage. She tried to she just didn't have enough energy to resurrect him, and because of that she became so old, because she lost all the energy. So energy was lost and it was not enough, something like this.
Yeah, it was actually an energy transfer from her body to his body, and it drained her so much she fell down and couldn't get up, and she said, "I'm too weak, I can't give you any more energy." And he died. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, one problem less, right? Without Finn.
Yes.
There was a one plot point that we should mention.
Please.
When the Huntsman and Finn and his little hunting party were starting to leave the city to go look for Snow White, William had heard what was happening. So William wanted to be part of this party, but he had to kind of infiltrate the party. How could he become part of this party? So when they were leaving the city, he stood in front of them, and he was an excellent archer.
Right.
Do you need an archer?
That's right. So who wants to describe what happened there?
Hans, would you like?
Yes, he asked, "Do you need an archer?" But Finn was not interested in adding a stranger to that team, but immediately William shot an arrow on somebody and killed. So by looking at his talent in archery, is that right? Archery. So
Skill.
he decided to he decided to bring him along with fetching team. He did a great job.
Yeah, so you can use it, in your strategy of finding job. So you go somewhere and you say, "Do you need an IT director? I have one." Now.
Bam! Looks like there's a vacancy now.
And I'm here, right? And you are in rush, so in hurry, so take me.
So that was a pretty cool scene. The bowman tried to shoot him, and he just dodged out of the way, and then he whoop, right through the heart, killed the other guy.
Yeah, so he was skilled. He had a skill. He was a kind of trained, good guy, right? And he still has feelings for her, I guess. Am I right, Leila?
Yes.
Okay, so let's speak about this women village or something. Sergey, do you remember this? When they went out from the forest, what they met?
When they went out from the forest, they met groups of small people like gnomes, and gnomes captured them,
We-
and
So
they
we call them dwarves, dwarves,
Dwarves.
Dwarves. Yeah.
dwarves. I wrote incorrectly, so in chat, dwarves. Dwarf is a one person, and dwarves is a plural.
If you watched Lord of the Rings, you saw a lot of dwarves.
Yeah.
what is
Dwarf,
I don't
dwarf.
know.
It's what you said. Gnome. It's a dwarf in English. Do you understand? It's a small person, so like to sing something and yeah. Actually, we have 7 of them, right?
Right. In the story.
Could you please describe them a bit or something?
Yeah, dwarfs captured White Snow and Huntsman, and they wanted to kill them because they don't like different people inside the forest, but they had problem with nature, with relationships between people, because Ravenna, when she started to be queens, killed nature outside the castle, and a lot of people had the problem with food, with animals, with trees, and gnomes don't like Ravenna. And Snow White told them, I'm a princess, and he is my bodyguard. Oh, okay. Then we stop to kill you, and they started to they started to run from Flynn.
Yeah, from Flint's team, right? And I guess that Huntsman and dwarves they had a history before, so they called him like a thief or something. So he stole some money or some gold from them. I remember they mentioned something like stolen gold or something. So probably they met before and they had a history. I'm not sure. Usually, what is a clairvoyant? I don't know this word. Appeared to be.
Okay, clairvoyant is like Professor Trelawney in Harry Potter. It's someone who can kind of foresee the future. So they didn't really believe she was a princess, but this one elf said, it's true, she is the princess. She has the royal blood. And they believed him after that.
I see, yeah. Okay, what happened after? What sounds? Tell us. I don't
remember when they escaped the dark forest, before they met the dwarves,
they met
the women village, remember?
Women village, yeah, I remember. So women who were injured themselves to be not so beauty, not to be in competition with queen, I would say, with Ravenna. Yeah. But Flynn's team, they burnt out the village during the during the chase, during the pursuing the Snow White. Yeah. And from that episode, we can learn that all the men are somewhere on a war, right? All the men are busy with fighting Ravenna's forces, which is not clear from the movie. We didn't see this fight, I guess. Okay, what else?
Well, I guess, yeah, it's kind of weird. I guess the men were all going to war. Is that what they said? Okay.
Yeah.
So the huntsman during this, in this women's village, the huntsman had abandoned Snow White, said, I'm leaving, and he left.
Mhm.
And then he looked back and saw the fire, and he said, damn it, I got to go save her. So he came back.
Layla, do you remember why he abandoned her? Why he left?
Yeah, he
Why?
thought he could be the danger for her
Mhm.
because she didn't manage his duty.
Yeah,
His
it was.
task was to capture Snow White and took her to Ravenna. Whatever happened, he didn't do it.
I don't remember exactly. It wasn't very logical to me, but he said that I am a danger for everyone who I love
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whom I around, something like this. Not logical.
Yeah. I think he said, everyone I've ever loved has died.
Yeah, poor him.
And I guess he knew he had some feelings for her. So he decided to leave now before they got involved, and then she died.
Okay. And we forget another episode, another scene. Is this in this forest or during this escape? I forgot. Vova, do you remember an episode with a troll? Remember there was
Yes.
So who is a troll? Can you describe it?
Troll is
A big creature, right?
big creature. Trolls live under the bridge
Yeah, doesn't bridge. Why?
because he built bridge.
Build the bridge, yeah. And probably he is getting some money from people who cross the bridge now. And I remember that trolls, they are made of stone, so they are ugly, they are strong, and it's hard to beat them. And actually, Huntsman could not manage to beat them, but Snow White stared at him, looked at his eyes, right? And Troll, I don't know, had some feeling or something.
Right.
What's the word for this, Leila? What happened to Troll when he watched
He felt her golden heart. He thought that she has the very person who has a good heart.
Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, it's the summary, Beauty and the Beast.
Recurring theme in stories.
So she was really special. She was. Dwarves were attracted by her, and trolls, and everyone, animals. How we call these small creatures that can in the forest?
Those were fairies, yeah.
Fairies, yeah.
They look like elves, right?
I don't know. They looked ugly to me.
A little bit.
Oh, I like them.
Fairy tales are kids' stories about fairies.
Fairies, right?
So we call them fairy tales.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's speed up with the story. Vasans, what happened after? So after they found dwarves, they crossed this village, they found people, the Duke, right, and his army. What happened? We
He
forgot
was about to die.
the important scene when Snow White was injured, right?
Yeah, she was tricked by the queen, and she ate the apple that she gave. It has some black magic, so she choked to death. So everybody thought she died, so they brought her body back to the village. But the huntsman spent some time with her alone and talked something, and he kissed her. Then the magic happened. Then she came to life. He became alive. Then she got out and talked the motivation. She gave motivational speech to the villagers. So everybody was motivated. Then they joined the army. They decided to invade the castle. Then the huge war happened. With the help of the dwarves, they entered into the main gate. Through the main gate.
Yeah. So, and if I remember right, they both were kissing her, right? The William and Huntsman.
William kissed her, nothing happened.
Why?
Huntsman kissed her, everything happened.
Yeah, tell us why. It's strikes me like William loved her, right?
Ivan, you know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say in order to make you smile. Of course,
Okay.
it is real love, and the Huntsman really loves her a lot.
It's her true love, not their true love.
Yeah.
Masans, please.
Yeah, initially I thought the Huntsman was going to be William later in that movie. So I was
You're
expecting
not
a twist.
romantic, Wasan.
Yeah.
Okay. So how we, Sergey, do you remember this scene when they were about to ambush the castle? Teacher, is ambush a good word?
Yes.
Now, ambush means you're waiting for someone secretly. They weren't really ambushing the castle. It's sitting there in the open. They were trying to siege it or
yeah.
Capture, can you say?
Attack or siege it. Sergey, do you remember that dwarves were really important in this siege process?
Yes.
What they did? Dwarves.
If I understand you correctly, dwarves went to sewage channel and they went inside the castle and they were trying to opening the door between in front of squid of Snow White, but they had some problem with bodyguards of Ravenna. And finally they opened the door
Okay.
because they threw to the wire and next and they down.
They needed some weight to pull the wire or rope, right? And
yeah. Before the opening of the door, the squid of Snow White had the problem because they stayed in front of castle and they got fireballs and hot liquid and a lot of arrows from the castle, and they need to open the door for developing the attack.
Yeah, how we could describe it? They were an easy goal, right? For everything, for archers, for any type of weapon. So
when it's easy to kill a bunch of people, we say it's like shooting fish in a barrel. No effort at all.
Yeah. Okay, so they got inside the castle. What's the word for this? Percolated or something? Usually, how we can say they penetrated. So they
sneaked in through the sewer system.
Mm-hmm. Dwarves, but the main forces they like got inside, right? After gate
just rushed inside the castle.
Yeah. Okay. So main forces rushed inside. There was a big fight, and they looked like they about to have a win, right? So the forces were, I don't know, higher, more prepared, or just more numerous or something. But Ravenna, she didn't care at all, right? She was like, okay, went here, show me what can you do. Would you describe this final battle, or how we call it?
Yes, they entered inside the queen's room, and she has like a swag, right? You know, she didn't care. She didn't put much effort to beat Snow White. She did it just like that. But the Snow White had to struggle a lot to get nearer to the queen. And finally, at some point, she managed to stab her. So instantly, all the black, how to say, the Huntsman, black Huntsmen, were vanished. They were scattered into pieces instantly, and the queen started to grow old. She started to show, how to say that, her skin started to show her real age. Then she died.
Yeah,
It was
and
happy.
it's
Snow White was crowned. Yeah.
kind of happy. But I really like Ravenna from this scene. You know, from the very beginning, she was so cold, so confident, so, you know, careless. And I like it, her dress, black dress with kind of a knives on it, or kind of it was a symbol, you know. She had kind of I don't know what, kind of a nails or something. And carefree, right? Not careless, but carefree, no worries, yeah. And I like it. I like it, this battle at the beginning when, you know, this magical, I don't know how we call this. So can I say, teacher, like a bee has a hive, right? Hive of bee. So it was a hive of knives moving and attacking. You know, these magical knives here. I don't know
Yeah,
how.
kind of like little darts or little stingers stabbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, had to be painful.
Yeah. Okay, what we forgot. So Snow White won, right? And she's now a queen. Teacher Lee, what we missed?
Let me mention a plot point. Remember, after she came back to life, she seemed more confident, right? She said, "We've got to beat the queen," and she said, "I know how to kill her. Only I can kill her."
Yep.
And you're thinking, well, how does she know that? Remember that when she ate the poison apple and she was lying on the ground dying, the queen was reciting some poem to her and said, blah, 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 and only by fair blood can it be undone. Well, that was the clue, and she remembered that. She said, I'm the fair blood. I can undo her magic. And that's when she realized that she could kill the queen because she was somehow this unique fair blood in that poem that said it could undo her evil magic. So that's just a plot point. Also, recall that she couldn't beat the queen, you know, so the queen was going to kill her. And remember that the huntsman trained her when they were escaping how to defend herself because she was little. She said, let them get in close and then pull out this little dagger and stab them. So that's what saved her life at the end. She remembered her training and had that little dagger hidden somewhere and was able to kill the queen. So the huntsman kind of saved her life indirectly by teaching her that trick.
Wow.
And I remember now that, you know, when she was revived, when she was resurrected, she kind of ignored Huntsman after this, right? He Snow White. He tried to speak with her, but she was not interested.
You are wrong.
I think she was just focused on killing the queen.
Yes, I agree. Swan, I'm going to tell you one thing.
Yes.
Snow White and Huntsman 2 is on display or has already been on display. I'm not sure. But the thing is that I hope everybody enjoyed it. It's a science fiction.
Is there a sequel? Is there a sequel to it? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Okay, tell us later. Sergey,
Of course.
You were about to say something?
Yes, I have 2 points. 2 points about Snow White. And Snow White in the end of movie looked like Jeanne d'Arc and the French hero.
Let me ask Vasans, who is Jeanne d'Arc? Do you know? Jeanne d'Arc, a French person.
No.
Leila, do you know who is Jeanne d'Arc?
No, my dear.
Okay, so it's a Soviet education, Sergey. You know, we know all the rebellions from any country, but
But if you tell us, I will be happy.
Was she,
Joe,
Ivan, was she set fire?
yeah, she was.
Yes,
I
yeah.
guess she was burned to death
Yeah,
after
yeah.
all, after the end of your career. But I'm not sure.
It's an interesting story. Joan of Arc was like a 13-year-old girl. And France and Britain were in a war. And France was losing. And Joan of Arc, this young girl, said God spoke to her and that she had to lead France to defeat the enemy. So she went to the king and somehow convinced the king of France that God had told her to come lead the French army against the British. And so she was this young girl dressed up in armor leading the French army, and she's like 13 years old. And she beat the British a couple times, but eventually they captured her and they tied her to a stake like a witch and burned her alive.
Wow.
And that was the short life of Joan of Arc.
Well, actually, at that time, we have to admit it was the simplest way to destroy, you know, a woman's life. So you are a witch, and it was, you know, a blame that you cannot avoid, you cannot escape. It's like now, you know, Me Too movement by different. So if you accused, you are dead.
Yeah.
I just want to ask something, okay?
Please.
I didn't understand. Ravenna was thinking about her childhood and her mother. What happens there? I missed that.
There are, as far as I remember, there are a few mention of her childhood with her brother and alone, and she said one king spoiled me, and I have to, you know, to make some revenge, and then this legend happened. So it was pretty messy to me. I cannot build a
Because
story. Yeah.
her
It wasn't
family,
clear.
yeah.
Really, it wasn't clear. It wasn't logical. It was we know a few facts that don't make a whole story, you know. So
Okay, that wasn't clear. Okay.
okay, we have a few questions on our Padlet. So one, we answered some of them.
I'm sorry, I have the second point about this movie.
Please.
And I think that the magic mirror could be great natural judge in the modern beauty contest. But it's a good decision.
Yeah. So you don't have to have all these judges. Just ask them much.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Teacher Lee?
Another question was, this mirror somehow could look at all the people throughout the land and say, you're the fairest of all these people. Yet she couldn't say, mirror, where is Snow White? You know,
Yeah.
it should have known where Snow White was exactly, but she didn't ask the mirror. She just sent out to look for her.
Powerful and powerless and helpless
Yeah.
at the same time.
Exactly.
Probably it's because it studies some radiation of fairy ladies or something. Not, you know, it's like a
Jamming signal. Her aura was a jamming signal.
yeah, something like this. Okay, so a few questions from Padlet. So what makes the Huntsman's kiss more powerful than Williams? Leila just answered it for us, right? Because it was about love of Snow White. So what else? Don't you think she'd better be married to Huntsman? We have this question. So probably it will happen. We don't know. Sergey, what do you think? Do they do? Can their relationship be, you know, prolonged? Have a nice future?
Not. It's not a good decision for Snow White because she had to build his country, and she have to have special relationships with different princes, different queens, and if she loves Huntsman, please, she could make the huntsman as a lover. No problem. Or favorite.
Actually, we have a very famous song in Russian, and it says that king and the queen has a lot of power. They can afford anything, but what they cannot afford, it's like a marriage by love, because there are always, you have to you have to manage your tree of.
I agree. Absolutely agree.
So
It is going to be marriage for convenience. Come on.
But it's
Well,
Layla. You have a pink glasses. I think
No,
it's
I
about
am
queen.
thinking of emotionally,
okay, teacher Lee, please.
the movie ended and didn't tell us who she chose to marry, right? William or the huntsman. Now, William was royalty. He was the Duke's son.
Right.
So royalty marrying royalty for the sake of the kingdom is generally what you would expect to ensure peace. However, the huntsman was a common person, a commoner, a nobody. Doesn't Great Britain have a tradition that the royal member has to marry a common woman?
No, teacher Lee. When they do this, they lost their right to the royal tradition. So after you marry a commoner, you are commoner. You are not anymore. What's the word for this? You're not anymore in a chain of command. You are not anymore in this chain. You are excluded.
Okay.
Lee,
yeah, go ahead.
somebody did that in the past in England, in English history, and he left the throne to get married with the lady who was common. Do you remember that story?
But guys, it happened like a few years ago. Sergey, what was the name of this lady from America? So there was a Prince something, Prince Harry or something, who married a simple girl.
Actress.
Yeah, who married an actress from US, and now he is not a prince anymore. He is just a guy, with the money.
What is important? What is important?
What is more important? I don't know, but he decided, so probably it's more important for him.
I've read some stories, some books, fairy tales, or some movies have had a plot or a country where the prince had to marry a common woman, and the reason was so that the kingdom would understand the common people's needs and would get more support from the common people, because one of the royal family was actually a commoner like them. So, two ways to look at it: marry a royalty person or marry a commoner. Which is the best thing to do?
As far as I know,
will tell you when I watch the second movie. I will tell you.
Okay.
As far as I know, it did not happen in Russian history. Our monarchs, our kings always had a marriage with another royalty. Vasant, I'm sorry, you wanted to say something?
No, I could see that she was expecting the huntsman's presence a couple of times. When she gave the motivational talk, she was looking at him, and she was about to invade the castle. She was expecting him, and even at the crowning session, she was looking for him, and finally he appeared. So there was a connection between them.
Thank you, Vasant.
Okay, time flies, so let me share some slides.
Let me mention one more thing real quick.
Please.
If you remember, if you saw Judge Dredd, I don't know if you saw the movie Judge Dredd or not, but at the end of Judge Dredd, I thought Judge Dredd and the pretty Hershey woman were going to kind of get married, but he just said, "I've got a job to do," and he left and got on his motorcycle and went back to fight crime. In Waterworld, you thought that Kevin Costner and the woman would get married on the island, right? But at the end, he said, "The ocean is my world," and he left her and went back to do his natural thing. So I was thinking here the huntsman was going to say, my job is to go hunt in the woods. I've got to, but he didn't do that. So.
Okay, so there is a place for sequel, right? We will see soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. I hope you can see it.
It's great.
As always.
Dagger alphabet. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, we call it dagger, right? Small knife. It's a dagger.
Yeah.
Okay, Vova, what do you like this picture? Would you describe it? What is written here?
Snow White and the Huntsman.
Huntsman. a bit of hard to read. Okay, let's start from this one. Vova, could you start, please? Name something. What you can see.
Horse.
Yes, there is a field with a horse on it, right? And what else?
A lot of trees.
Some people here, right? What they're doing?
Cut grass.
Very good. Right.
I guess there must be a special word for this, right, teacher Lee? So
I don't know if you'd call it hay or we'd call it grain, like wheat or barley or oats. They grow in tall, we call it grain. So I would say they were cutting down grain and carrying it on wagons to make the bread or something out of it.
Can we use a verb harvest or something?
Yeah, I was going.
Yep. Harvesting the grain to make flour to make bread, or noodles, pasta.
And I forgot how we call this. Is it a truck or something? Horse with
wagon.
Wagon. Okay, horse with
hay wagon.
Hay wagon. Yeah.
It's kind of if kids ride on top of the hay, we call it a hay ride.
Hay ride. It looks fantastic to me. It's like impossible life. I would like to spend a year or something in such farm. Yeah, can you? Yeah, it's peaceful. You can see it's so colorful. So no conference call at the morning. So you just go there.
No cell phone. Yeah.
No Facebook news. Nothing. So I would like to. Yeah. Okay, and opposite side, I would say. Leila, what can you see here?
I think this is the battle scene, one of the battles which I don't remember because there are some battle scenes. And I can see some places are burning, some carriages are on the ground, and some of them died. And I can see some soldiers on the horses looking around. It's a kind of dark atmosphere.
But I like this shiny armors on the, how we call it, chivalric, how we call it, I forgot the name, for warriors.
Okay, I saw, right.
For burials, I'm not sure.
I mean, a warrior, a soldier has a shiny armor.
We just call it armor. I mean,
oh yeah,
like a knight. Knights wear armor.
Yeah. And so the forest looks very dark and everything is burned. Yeah, I can see some shields on the ground.
Looks like the whole area has been burned almost. There's no grass. Right. There's no underbrush.
Yeah.
No
because
bushes.
Of Ravenna.
Yeah, I guess that's why it's died, although there's trees in the background.
Yeah. So, teacher, what is underbrush? Underbrush, it's vegetables, or I mean, how we call it, green?
If you look in a forest, you've got trees, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of times the ground is covered by vines and small grass. We call all that stuff under the trees underbrush.
I see.
It's just little plant life that grows at the ground level. Because the trees provide shade, the underbrush can't get much sun, so it doesn't get very tall. It spreads out horizontally on the ground.
Wow.
So I'm wondering if the fact that this is where Ravenna was the slave inside the wagon. I wonder if her presence in the wagon killed all the plant life around her body. That's what it looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
That's weird.
Who knows? Yeah. Maybe these magic creatures, these warriors created some, I don't know, mess, some danger for Greens. Okay, the episode with the wedding. Wasans, would you like to describe it?
Yes, she is walking down the aisle, and Snow White is walking behind her, and we can see the soldiers with their weapons and armors, and you can see the how to say that are they fathers, and how do they call? How are they called? No, the priest. Okay, I think they are priests.
Please.
Then you can see the candles with candle holders.
And actually, I think that what this guy is William, right?
Which
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, the little boy
Little boy in white
Okay.
t-shirt.
All right.
and his dad. Yeah.
And there are a lot of like symbols on their clothes, right? How we call it, heraldic symbols.
We call it coat of arms, heraldry. Yeah, coat of arms is heraldry.
So the symbols of kingdom or all this.
Their family ancestry.
ancestry.
When two families marry, what they do when two families marry, like one family had the yellow design and one family had the red and white design. So when they marry, they take their two designs and do them like that to show that the two families, what two families came together. This is a little small heraldry shield that shows the coat of arms of a family's ancestry.
Actually, your green screen, how we call it. Yes, it's okay. Now we can see. it was mirrored for a bit.
Okay.
Okay, and on the left, can you see these trees on the left? On this, I guess it's about ancestors. It's not real trees.
Yeah.
It looks like the tree of life, which is called Yigra, or there's some weird name for some mythological tree of life.
Okay, I see.
That might be what that is. It's got big roots. If you remember the movie Avatar, they kind of had this giant tree of life that they worshipped.
Yep.
Kind of the same idea, the source of all life.
Okay, let's go further. Sergey, what is happening there?
There is a bed room, and we can see the act after marriage, and they were trying to make a baby, but unfortunately not. And and
what is the verb for this when you hit someone with a knife? What is the verb? Do you know? When you hit someone with a knife, what is the verb for this? There is a special. It's a stab, right? Actually, you are stabbing someone with a knife.
She stabbed queen. She stabbed king, and we had a lot of problem after that. And we can see fireplace. We can see a lot of kindle with candelabras, and in the center of picture a bed, and old stylish bed with wood construction, and we can see special fabric. I don't know how
Curtains.
Curtains. Yeah, curtains. And the room looks like a strong, without any decoration and without souvenirs. It's a place for men and place for making a baby. It's all for
Well, but you're right. It's pretty dark. No pink, right? No toys, no drawings, no paints, nothing. Leila, do you like the decoration of the room?
You know, I don't like the decoration of the room, but what I focused on is how she killed him
What is
without mercy.
wrong? Actually, I don't understand why she need to stop him after he was already poisoned. So he already was.
I don't know.
It maybe the poison was like a temporary paralysis. It didn't really kill him, but it paralyzed him so he couldn't move.
Okay.
Or maybe just the pleasure of
killing.
The stab. Sometimes they just love the thrill of the stab going in, you know, twisted around.
Yeah. As she said, you will pay me back. It's a revenge, right?
Yeah.
Someone. Okay. Vova, could you please describe this picture? What you can see there?
Is the
Okay, what you trying to describe? This man or something, right?
Yes.
So it's what he is made of?
Gold.
Yes,
Gold.
he's made of gold, and it's kind of this magic creature that magic mirror creates, right? Okay, what else? What else can you see in this room? There is a fire, right? Also on the right, and
Yes.
candles, and some
people.
some. Well, actually, they are not living people, right? They're made of stone, I guess, and I don't know what they should symbolize. Maybe just the warriors. Maybe I don't know. That's just sculptures.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, just little statues.
Maybe it has some meaning, but I'm not sure. Why is this golden man doesn't have a face? What do you think?
Can't be prettier than her.
Scared of her, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any questions about this? Or we can go. Any comments? I can see on the floor it's kind of a how we call it, skin of some animal probably, or carpet. Or
yeah.
Something. And it's a small stool, I guess, wooden stool, but hard to say.
And the wall behind them is kind of looks like a Roman Colosseum. It has little archways with Roman columns.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. Leila, can you describe this?
I just can't see very clearly, but it is the Snow White princess, and she is in the tower, right? Trying to set out a fire and rubbing the stone or wood together.
We call it flint. It's a special rock called flint that can make a spark.
Yeah. Okay.
So you just like scrub it off something, right?
We call it rub or scrub.
You kind of strike them together, and the friction makes just enough heat to make a spark. Only flint can do this. It's a special material. Cigarette lighters used to use flint.
How can she have that there? I don't know.
Flint rock. Okay, we have them actually. You know, the good thing about this rock that it can be, you can put it in the water and it will still work. So it's very it's very convenient when you go to the forest, take it without a match or gas lighter, because it will work whatever happens, you know. Until you have it, it works.
Okay, I will try.
You can buy a little camping tool.
Yeah.
that actually has two pieces of flint, and it has like a little squeeze handle or something. So if you squeeze it, it rubs them together and makes a spark.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's pretty handy to have in the apocalypse.
Must try.
No lighter fluid, it just makes a spark.
Okay.
Okay, nothing more, right? What is happening there? Vasants, please tell us.
Yeah, she captured somebody who were trying to kill her. I think. So, no, they were trying to ambush her army. So they were captured and brought to her place. When she was about to interrogate, that young man stabbed her, but nothing happened to her. And finally, she did something to his heart. I think she killed her eventually. Killed him eventually, but let the old man free because so that he could say what happened there and
Spread the fear, right? Spread
yeah.
the fear to tell everyone how powerful she is, right?
Yeah.
She's kind of, I don't
How
know.
merciful she is by letting the man live.
Yeah. What feeling do you have, Leila, to her? What feeling do you have? Do you like her? What I'm trying to describe, but I don't know adjectives. You know, so it's
So about Ravenna, you mean?
yeah.
I don't think she's a normal person, so I just can't judge her. But the only thing is that she kills so mercilessly that she doesn't feel anything. She has
Yeah.
no feelings.
It's like we eat meat, right? We eat meat because we
Yeah.
just used to yeah. We don't have feelings to beef steaks or something. The same thing. Yeah. She's very cold, yeah, I would say. And there we can see her brother, right? Flynn.
Right.
Yes. Sergey, could you please tell us something about this picture or scene?
Yeah, there is a bass with mood, and he take bet for health. Maybe I don't know.
This is a famous mood bass.
No,
Yeah.
what that is, that's a horse trough. That's water for horses to drink. And it's
Oh my God.
muddy. It's muddy and nasty. And he was drunk and unconscious. So they threw him in there to wake him up. So now he's in this muddy water. And he says, "Why are you bothering me? Can't you see I'm taking a bath?" He was being sarcastic.
And we can see Flynn with beautiful and strong French. He has belt,
Mm-hmm. Leather belt, I guess, with some.
leather belt, and around Huntsman we can see some bodyguards with arms and with helmets, and behind the group we can see maybe citizen or different bodyguards.
They looks like soldiers to me,
Maybe, and the place looks like usual European village in the Middle Ages.
Yeah, middle of time. Yeah. I would not mention that those soldiers, they look like they're very well equipped, right? They had everything. They had leather armor, they had chain armor, they have helmets and shields with spikes, like well equipped army, I would say.
Yeah.
And this scene shows the two extremes of society, the royalty, well-dressed, clean, dignified, and the peasant, dirty and humiliated and filthy.
Yeah.
Lee, when I first saw the Huntsman, I thought that, oh my God, he must smell like a goat. But but when I look at Finn, I felt nothing because he's a bad man, right?
Mhm.
I don't feel anything. I can't see his smartness or just being, like a French guy. I hated him.
Well, I'm trying to find a verb, but or adjective to describe Flynn and Ravenna. And when you touch something unpleasant, a reptile, a snake, or something. So I have a disgusting feeling. It's what I feel to seeing Flynn actually.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, he's like Ravenna. He's cold. He has no compassion. He's just there to get a job done. He's loyal to his sister, though.
Yep.
He's loyal to her, but other than that, he views people like she does. They're just things to be used.
Well, and do you remember when Flynn went to the tower with
I
Snow
was thinking
White?
of that.
Yeah, and tried to touch
Yeah.
her or something. It was very disgusting to me. I was, my heart was bleeding. I was waiting for her escape.
And in medieval times, the way they used to give a haircut they would take a bowl and put it over your head, and they would just cut the hair around the bowl.
Yeah.
So he's got that kind of a bowl haircut. Yeah.
Okay, I'm stopping translation. Time flies very, very fast. So we had intense discussions. Thank you very much. And in case if you like actor of this Huntsman, there is another movie, Extraction, it's called, and it's action. If you watched it, and what I like about this movie, Extraction, there was another protagonist, was an Indian actor, and he was very brutal, I can describe it. So if you like action movies, just watch it. Yeah.
I loved it, right?
Okay, thank you very much for coming. Nice movie. I would not say it's much childish. It's very interesting for me. So thank you.
Ivan.
Yeah.
It was a good film.
Yes.
Accepted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lee, Mr. Lee, thank you. Everybody, my dear friends, bye-bye.
Bye bye.